Very much, Addy. Great to see so many of you here. A wonderfully warm welcome. What a magical, beautiful building we have in the heart of the city for a heavyweight fight that goes to the heart of this blue-ribboned, glamorous division of our beautiful sport. Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois from the Co-op Live in Manchester on May the 9th. A compelling, explosive clash for the WBO Heavyweight Championship, live on DAZN. Alfie Sharman here from DAZN on the top table, presented by Queensberry, king of the heavyweight stable, Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren, with us today. Sam Jones, Riz Khan, Don Charles from Team Dubois. Michael Ofo, good to see you from Team Wardley. And of course, the fighters themselves. 22 wins in 25 fights, 21 by knockout. From here in London, former amateur standout and former heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois, the Dynamite Man, and the real-life Rocky storybook. Unbeaten in 21 with 19 knockouts from Ipswich, the WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Fabio Wardley. That sound good, Fabio? I think it does, doesn't it? Don't blink. 40 knockouts between them with a 95% KO ratio. I, for one, thought Fabio might get a soft defense. Daniel might get a little warm-up back from Usyk. But no, Frank, no. We get the battle of the big boys. How on earth did you make this happen? It's a terrific match.
It certainly is, and thank you for gathering here today to see the guys. This fight is a fight both of the fighters wanted. You know, as Adam just said, Fabio coming off of a real good run, winning a world title in style, and saying that he wants a big fight to make sure that if he comes through, he gets into an even bigger fight. And then you got Daniel coming off his loss, who said, no, I want to go straight back in the deep end. I want to fight the best. So we made it happen. It's probably one of the most easiest fights we've ever had to make. Been so easy to get these guys in. You know why? Because they're fighting men. As Adam said, 95% knockout ratio. Do not blink, because this, from the first bell, you're going to be on the edge of your seat, seeing something extra, extra special on the night. And I'm delighted that Queensberry are putting it on, that I'm involved in it. I'm delighted it's on DAZN, the home of heavyweight boxing. And this will be another sellout show. The atmosphere is going to be unbelievably brilliant. And we're going to see, I genuinely believe, the fight of the year.
Frank, there's something special, isn't there, when two Brits fight on our shores for the world heavyweight title. I think it's 33 years or something since we saw Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno. So many great fights over the years. Where does this rank as a match on paper for you?
On paper, it doesn't get any better. I mean, you've got it on the side of here, I can see it. 95% KO ratio. That tells you one thing: excitement. These guys don't take a backward step. As soon as the bell goes, they come forward and they let their shots go. And that is what will happen. You know, you haven't got to be an Einstein to understand and know how this fight's going to pan out. They are going to let their bombs go, and we'll see what happens when the first one lands.
Fabio, the WBO championship of the world in front of you. Before I ask any more, how does that feel to be champion after your journey in this sport, which has been one of the most unusual ever?
Yeah, look, obviously it feels fantastic. It's a fantastic thing to achieve in amongst my career, and like you say, especially kind of where I came from in terms of where I started and how things went. I think any boxer that gets into the professional game, at some point they want to obtain a world title, and I'm immensely proud of myself for being able to achieve that and pull that off. But it's not just me, it's the team around me, the support, the faith, the belief, because like you say, I've been doubted at every turn, or every step has been a step too far, and I've kept the key people shoulder to shoulder with me, side by side, same team, same people who have always kept the faith. And look, and we've got all the way here to a world title, and now on to a fantastic defence.
I sold out Portman Road, then it was the O2 against Joseph Parker. They don't come much tougher. You got the title. In the old days, maybe a nice first defence, a little simpler. This is very tough. How highly do you rate Mr. Dubois?
Yeah, look, I rate him very highly, and that's the reason I picked him as an opponent. Like you say, it's a voluntary, which means I had my pick of the litter, I had my choice, and I picked him out. I chose him because, look, I looked at the roster, I looked at the list of names, and I said, that's the best name on the list. That's the best fighter out there. That's the best fighter available. He's the one I'm going to get the most credit for in terms of taking that scalp and taking that win. And I think, as evidenced by my career as a whole, I'm not one to take the easy route. I'm not one to take the smooth path. I want to be remembered as a fighter who never ducked no one, who never shied away from a challenge, who always took on the biggest and best comers. And I think that's the best way to manage a career, but that's the right way to go about being a world champion.
As fight fans, I'll tell you what, we just love that attitude. But Daniel, to you, I mean, the same thing applies. You share a ring with Oleksandr Usyk at a packed-out Wembley Stadium. You've been in with AJ Hrgovic. You come back, and this isn't easy. You go straight back into the fire. Did you need that? Did you need a challenge like that straight away?
Yeah, definitely. I need challenges now where I'm in my career. I need the big names and the big fights, and I'm going to be fully up for this more than I've ever been before. Yeah, this excites me.
No warm-up fight needed, straight into battle.
Nah. All experiences I've had in the past have prepared me well for this moment.
You have had the experience as a professional being in with so many big names. Do you think that might be the difference come May the 9th?
Yeah, my experience, my skill set, and just this, pedigree of what I have, you're gonna see on the night. And
do you think it has to be a knockout either way on May the 9th?
Heavyweight boxing's knockouts, but I want to show my skills, showcase what maybe you haven't seen before from me, and do it in amazing, devastating fashion.
More from the big boys a little later, talking about showcasing fights. The global home of boxing is DAZN. Alfie, what a wonderful fight on May the 9th, and so much to look forward to before then as well.
Yeah, thanks Adam. And just to echo Frank, thank you to everyone for coming out here today for yet another major fight press conference on DAZN. For us, it's an amazing time to be a DAZN subscriber. This fight is wow, I suppose, power versus power, Britain versus Britain, but make no mistake, this is for world title honours. We will have fans all over the world tuning in to DAZN to watch this event. That's very important to us, this global scale. We've barely come up for air just last weekend. We saw Wood Warrington 2, we saw Ryan Garcia take over Las Vegas, Claressa Shields doing what she does best, moving forward, as you say, Adam, March 4th, St. Patrick's Day weekend. Another world title fight headlined by Jazza Dickens and Anto Kakachi, March 28th. One of the scariest young men in the world in Moses Itauma headlines a magnificent 7 card, which is stacked from top to bottom, which we're super excited about. April 4th, our friend Derek Chisora. There'll be chaos at the O2 as he fights off against one of the most dangerous heavyweights of all time in Deontay Wilder, and then this show, which for me has genuine Fight of the Year contender. Fabio Wardley is the WBO heavyweight champion of the world, and as you rightfully say, this first defence is a remarkable choice, right? Daniel Dubois has been there with the best, recently the former IBF world champion, and he's looking to get himself straight back in the mix. Fabio is, without doubt, one of the hardest punchers in world boxing, and Daniel Dubois, as I say, has proven it. So May 9th at the Co-op Arena, which is a fantastic arena, we are going to see fireworks, and I look forward to seeing all of you all around the world live and exclusive on DAZN, the global home of boxing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a fabulous arena up in Manchester, and what a fabulous lineup, week after week. Cannot wait for all of them. Team Dubois is heavy down the other end. I'm going to go to Riz Khan first, commercial manager of Daniel's team. You've been around him for a while now. You've had the great nights like at Wembley Stadium against AJ, and obviously the disappointing ones like against Oleksandr Usyk. You know him well. How confident are you going into this, and were you in any way sceptical of the fact he's going straight back in for a world title fight?
I think to answer that question, Adam, I think I just really need to reiterate what Frank said and what Daniel said earlier. After the dust had settled after the Usyk fight, I had a conversation with Frank literally 3 or 4 weeks after the Usyk fight, and it was, who do we want next? And I had a discussion with Stan and Daniel, and we knew straight away we wanted to go in for a world title shot. And it's Frank's job to put options on the table to us. But we said, no, we want Fabio Wardley for the world title. And Frank said, leave it with me, and we'll make it happen. So Frank obviously has done fantastically well to get the fight on the table. Am I sceptical in any way, shape or form? No. The way I've seen Daniel train over the past year and a half, and while I've been supporting and representing him, I've seen a really focused, dedicated fighter who's fighting at elite level. So if you look at Daniel over the last 5 years, lost to Usyk. Who hasn't lost to Usyk? So Daniel is ready to fight for the world title again, and I'm sure he will succeed. So I'm not nervous in any way, shape or form. For me, he's just too strong and has got too many tools in the locker for Fabio on the 9th of May.
Great to hear you, Riz. Alongside you, Sam Jones. Great to have you with us, advisor to Daniel as well. Proud to be sort of part of this now and really backing your man, no doubt.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be a part of, and first and foremost, sometimes when you get elevated to champion, it kind of dilutes the achievement, and it shouldn't, because Fabio, I want to congratulate you, Fabio, genuinely. You've amazing achievement from what you've come from, so everyone needs to give Fabio his props for that, because sometimes, as I say, it dilutes when someone gets elevated, but congratulations, Fabio, you deserve everything you get. Amazing achievement. With this fight, sometimes we get it mixed up about what's a pay-per-view fight. We always, as boxing fans, we get mixed up and say, what's a pay-per-view fight? This is 2 heavyweights in their absolute physical primes. No one's over the hill. You've got one guy who's on a great run of form, a former heavyweight champion of the world there with a tremendous heavyweight CV and great pedigree behind him. And this is box office. Someone's going to sleep in this fight. And that's just the reality. You look at their records, and both of them can sit there, they'll have a straight face because they know this fight's ended inside the distance. So if you can't get a ticket, if you're not lucky enough to get a ticket, make sure you buy it on DAZN pay-per-view. I honestly believe, and I can say this wholeheartedly, Fabio knows I respect him greatly as a person. I really do. But I do think Daniel will flatten him, and I think it will be very, very fast as well. You can't compare the 2 CVs. Fabio's CV, listen, he's beat who's been put in front of him, and he's done it in dramatic, emphatic style, which is the reason why he's on pay-per-view. But comparing the 2 CVs, in my opinion, would be like comparing Sonia Jackson to Jennifer Lopez. You can't do it. Daniel Dubois, for me, is going to win this fight, and it's going to be pretty fast and pretty violent. But no, well done to everyone for taking this fight, because it doesn't usually happen. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam. Fast, violent, and Fabio Wardley's going to sleep, Michael Ofo. Your reaction as Fabio's manager, great to have you with us today.
Yeah, they've got managers, supervisors, all sorts going over there. Listen, Fabio asked for this fight. Fabio wanted the best that's out there. There was no Usyk available. There was no AJ. There was no Fury. Daniel Dubois was chosen because he's a strong man. But this is going to be a mental battle in there. When that bell goes and we take 3 steps back and they take 3 steps forward, Fabio is going to be right in his face and he's going to be giving him hell. And I believe once you've quit once, it becomes easier to do it again, and he's done it on a number of occasions. I think they need to worry about what's going on over there in their team. You know, he left Don Charles, came back, so those insecurities are still there, and we're there to capitalize on that. And I think on the night, Fabio Wardley is going to destroy Daniel Dubois early.
You go for an early stoppage win for your man. What is it that Fabio has now in his locker? Because on paper, you look at Daniel's CV, he's been in with some terrific names. What has Fabio got that you believe will be enough on May the 9th?
Again, I just think this will be a mental battle. I think when you're at the, you know, everyone can say we work hard. When you're at the top, these guys are elite level fighters. They all work hard. They're all dedicated to the sport. So it's not enough when you're fighting against another elite level athlete. And I think his downfall will be his mental capacity to stay in there with somebody like Fabio Wardley, especially after coming off the loss that he just had. And like I said, all the stuff that's going on in their camp, it's going to be very hard for him to overcome that and to beat Fabio Wardley. To be fair, the only person really that should be up there is Stan, because we know Stan makes all the decisions. So, you know,
you have to bank on all those things, though. You have to bank on the fight being mental. You have to hold on to all of those things. But in reality, it's going to come down to who's a better fighter, and that's Daniel Dubois.
It's going to come down to a lot of things. It's a fight. So when your chin gets touched,
you have to hope that's
when your chin gets touched, then you, like you said, you wake up to that reality. Every press conference, Daniel Dubois said that he's going to destroy the person. This is the best he's ever been, blah, blah, blah,
Michael.
And then when the bell goes, we see the truth.
Are we in agreement, though? Are we in agreement, though, that Fabio's never been hit with a 10-ounce glove by someone like Daniel Dubois? Justice Hooney, Fraser Clark, with greatest respect, Joseph Parker, not in the same stratosphere of power. When Daniel taps him with the right hand, what's going to happen then? Never mind mental battles or Usyk. Hey, listen, Usyk whoops everybody. Usyk whoops everybody.
This is heavyweight boxing.
And Daniel Dubois has proven. Look at his heavyweight CV. He's winning this fight. He'll win it in dramatic fight. And you have to hold on to every little thing, every small thing. Going back to Don Charles. Listen, yes, he went and trained somewhere else, and yet he's gone back to Don Charles.
Why did he go back to Don Charles?
Because that's where he feels comfortable.
That's where.
And you're going to see the end result of that.
In the first place?
And with the
because there was something missing.
And with the greatest respect, you'll see the end result of that, because it will result in Daniel Dubois becoming a two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Beautiful. The reason why he left. You don't have to be a genius to work it out. The reason why he left is because there was something missing. You don't leave if everything is great. You leave because there's something missing. So obviously there was
Keep holding on to it. Keep holding on to it.
I'll let you speak. Have some manners. Have some manners.
I've got plenty of manners. I've got plenty, but I have to intervene sometimes.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that you're up here for. You don't do nothing else.
And how do you know that? Listen, Michael, you're an expert. You're an expert on everything. You're an expert on ring walks. You're an expert on ring walks. Yep. You're an expert. You're an osteopath. You're much more intelligent than me. You're a Swiss Army knife.
100%.
Listen, I've been doing this a hell of a long time.
That's why we've got the belt here. Because
Order.
I've been doing this a hell of a long time.
We've had from the start.
A hell of a long time.
Don Charles calls order to proceedings. You're the man that has Daniel back again now. You had him for several fights. There were some fantastic stories there. I guess I'll ask you, were you disappointed that he went, and are you happy that he's back?
Right, basically, hello and welcome everybody. All I can say to all that, talk is cheap. I normally got a lot to say, but you know what? I choose to be silent today. I want to talk about today and what's going to happen on the 9th of May, and that's all. Talk is cheap. Daniel doesn't have to prove nothing. He's only ever lost to one man. Twice. Usyk. He's demolished everybody else orthodox that's been put in front of him. Nothing changes on the 9th of May. Period.
Joe Joyce?
Pardon me? The Joe Joyce fight was too early for him at the time.
Okay. Who's Fabio lost to?
Pardon me?
Who has Fabio
lost? No, he hasn't lost, but who has he faced?
So Parker was the number one choice out there.
Right, and
Justice Hooney. Justice Hooney, I believe.
And carry on.
90% of heavyweights out there.
Carry on.
Fraser Clark.
Carry on.
What did Fabio do to Fraser Clark?
Carry on.
It's only because Fabio's a very respectful person.
Anyway, like I said, talk is cheap.
If it was me there,
you won't hear any
I
more
would be
from
still
me.
gloating about what I've done for Fraser Clark. Talk is cheap. It's very talk is cheap, but we're here to talk. We're here to sell the fight. And the reality is that when that bell goes,
sell it correctly.
When that bell goes, I promise you, Fabio Wardley is going to be in Daniel Dubois' face, and there's nothing that any of you guys
Not when
be
that
able
big,
to do
horrible
to
jab
stop
hits his
what
teeth.
Fabio Wardley is going to do to him.
Big horrible jab.
If I can interject, I dare you to fight like that. Okay, I dare you to approach the fight like that. It'll be even over quicker than you can blink. Don't blink.
Don, you say talk is cheap. I love listening to you, though, about why you think your fighters are going to win on the night. What's your case for Daniel against Fabio, who hasn't been beaten and has proved himself to become a world champion?
Daniel Dubois is a specialist at taking people's zeros. His record suggests so. Check his record. He's very good at beating unbeaten fighters. And like I said, I don't have a lot to say today, but I have to respect that we're here to interact, and that's why we're here, press conference. But I'm going to make it short and brief. Refer to his record. It suggests he's very good at taking zeros off people. They're the team, I know the team very well. I know them, I know their DNAs. I have a history with Fabio Wardley. He knows that. I'm not going to expand on that today. They know really, but I don't blame them. I don't expect them to sit here and say, oh, we're just going to keel over. But please tune in.
Yeah, we have a winning history against your gym. We have a winning history against your gym.
Pardon me?
We have a winning history against your gym. You look at Dillian White.
I'm talking about Daniel Dubois.
Versus,
no, this is before you, Michael, we have
1 minute. Winning history against
this is before you got involved with Fabio Wardley.
We will continue to have that winning.
Michael, look at me, please.
History.
This is before you got involved with Fabio Wardley. I know his journey, and I'm really proud of him. That is truth. Yeah, it's unfortunate he has to face somebody that I'm working with in the name of Daniel Dubois. I won't say anymore, I promise you.
Could I just say, I can feel
tune
the
in
energy.
and don't blink.
Feel the energy. Feel the energy up here with some big men.
It's a fantastic energy. Frank, I'm going to come to you before I go back to the main men. It's what we want to see, isn't it, before a big fight?
Well, that's what you're going to get. You know, this is going to be, and I'm repeating myself, something special. And I must just say one thing. What a well-turned-out pair of fighters they are, aren't they? This is like Savile Row show. But this, exactly. But this is, these guys, they know what's on the line. This is to get to the even higher level. The winner of this will be fighting in a big stadium fight. That's what's going to happen in a massive, massive barnstormer of a fight. But to get there, they've got to lace them up between the two of them, and we're going to see who is the best on the night. You know, both camps are passionate about their charges. Both of them really do believe it. And the fighters believe in themselves. So it has all the ingredients of an unbelievable event.
I can't wait for a stadium show, maybe in the summer, but this is going to be a barnstormer. Daniel, you've heard all the talk between the teams, different feelings up there. How confident are you 10 months on from filling out Wembley Stadium, but not getting that victory over Usyk, to come back and regain a world heavyweight title?
I'm full of confidence for this one. I'm full of confidence, you know, raring to go. And I've got to take his all. I'm going to be the first man to do it. And, you know, I'm just can't wait to go, man.
Your man Sam Jones says you flatten Fabio Wardley. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Oh, yeah, victory.
By knockout?
By knockout, by any means necessary, but victory.
And back with Don, sitting next to you up here, back in the farm, training you. How is that going? Really enjoying it again?
Yeah, we've got a solid team here, and yeah, we're going to show on the night.
Fabio, danger coming your way. You've seen it once or twice before. You've won early, like against Fraser Clark in the second fight. You won late against Justice Hooney and Joseph Parker. How do you see this one unravelling on May the 9th?
Yeah, look, my power is proven. First round, last round, one way or another. If there's time left on the clock, I'm taking you out of that fight. Like, you're not making it the final bell. And I know a lot has been made of the back and forth with Don and Daniel and them moving trainers. And honestly, for me, like, one trainer, two trainer, no trainers, I couldn't give a shit. It means nothing to me. He's not going to get in the ring and help him. All it's going to be, the bell's going to go, it's going to be me and Daniel, and I'm going to be staring in his face, throwing bombs at him, and we're going to see if he can weather the storm, which, look, if we're looking at proven records, it proves that when things get dicey, he's not really up for it. He's not really game for it. So we're going to really see on the night who's really got what it takes to come through and
Fuck
stake
that,
their
I've
name.
got what it takes, mate. You're going to see on the night. I've got what it takes, boy.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out if he's really got what it takes.
Daniel, what happens May the 9th? Prediction.
Yeah, knockout, skills. You know, skills pay the bills, and that's what we're going to do.
Skills pay the bills, but it will win. You'll win inside the distance. Another one on your record.
Yeah, it's called Don't Blink for a reason.
Don't blink, we won't. 95% knockout ratio apiece, Fabio. Do you flatten Daniel Dubois and put a serious dent in his career?
Look, I flatten Daniel, clean him out, wipe him out, leave him there. I know look, Don's saying, I dare you to step to the ring and walk into the middle of the ring and have it out with him. Don, I don't need daring at all. I'll do it on my own. It's no bother to me whatsoever. You've seen me before. And like you say, all respect, but you know me. You know how I fight. You know my heart. You know what's in me. I don't need a dare. I don't need you to bet me. I'm walking to the center of the ring, and I promise you, your man will be taking the first step back.
Don't blink. 90 knockouts for Fabio Wardley. 21 for Daniel Dubois. They've only ever been the distance once apiece. So it should be explosive. Let's bring the boys together down to the front for a head-to-head. And as Frank says, they are very well attired. So let's hope it's respectful. It should be.
That was interesting. I like that. See, that's why you get Sam Jones on the top table. That's what you do with Michael as well, representing team Fabio Wardley. And genuinely, I think both guys, look, we've been to these press conferences where you're not quite sure if you believe one or the other. I believe both guys think they're going to knock out the other. I think both believe in their power, Baz.
Just the way they set up their tactics, Fabio's going to do what he said. I'm going to go right to the centre ring, throw in bombs, and can you cope with that? And I think with Daniel's going to think, you come right at me swinging bombs, there's a big gap in the middle there, and I'm going to throw right down there, and when you feel my heavy jab, my heavy right hand, are you going to throw when I'm hitting you on the chin? And I can see a knockout for both early, and I can see it being a real grueling war as well. I mean, that's what makes it such a great fight. You know, both of them are going to get chin checked, guaranteed. And how they both cope with that. I mean, Daniel's shown to have a good chin, actually. And Fabio, even though he gets hurt and wobbled, he's at his most dangerous when he's hurt. I mean, it's just a great fight. You couldn't pick a better fight.
I guarantee you this doesn't go points.
No way.
It just doesn't go points. This is going to be absolute fireworks from the first bell. I think, you know, stylistically, this is going to gel so well. Fabio Wardley just wears his heart on the sleeve. As he said there, he doesn't need daring, he doesn't need betting. When he gets into a fight, centre of the ring, and he's going to let bombs go. I think Daniel Dubois' footwork, very underrated, a very good boxer, will get behind the jab, but at some point, he's going to engage, and that is where the magic is going to happen.
This is what I wanted to see, the face-off.
You forget how big Fabio is, don't you?
I just about to say that because we know Dubois is a 6'4" guy. Fabio's a big guy as well. He's almost grown into the heavyweight division. Dubois that moves away first. Does that mean anything? Am I reading too much into that now?
I don't think so.
Fabio thought so, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
Fabio did. Fabio's like, okay, really interesting. You kind of step away first. Interesting. Both boys suited and booted as well, which is very rare in today's boxing world, isn't it?
Snub, the first snub.
No more games, boys.
Not very nice.
Let's get ready for a fight.
You got a real cheeky confidence, haven't you, Fabio?
Yeah, both of them do as well. Daniel Dubois doesn't do handshakes either, by the way.
Well, Daniel's boxing
I got the treatment today. I got the treatment today from him. I tried to put my hand out for a handshake. He fist pumped me. He says, "I'm here for business." It's like, you're not fighting me. You're not fighting me. But look, it's a great matchup. I think the undercard is going to be pretty good as well. Obviously, Frank Warren has a massive stable of fighters who are going to be desperate to fight on this undercard.
Of course I mean, they don't need an undercard. I mean, that's such a good fight, but it will be a great undercard. It'll be a fantastic event. But this fight itself sells it on its own. It's a really, really, really good fight, which should go either way.
Okay, I'm very happy you just said that. I'll chuck it to both of you. Who's the favourite for this?
Do you know what? Funny enough, right? With the resume, what they're talking about, with what Dubois has done, he's a former world champion. You probably think he would be, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Fabio Wardley, with his unbeaten record, he's going to be the case. Do you know what? I love this fight, and do you know why? I think someone said it up there. This is two fighters in their prime. We've seen a lot of fights being made, but there's two fighters over the hill in the twilight years of their careers. But this is two fighters at the peak of their games.
Yeah, I think you've got to make Fabio a favourite. I mean, just the form that he's on, beating Parker, who was one of the informed fighters in the division, and the way he did it, I think, just shows that nothing's enough until the fight's over with him.
All right, so many big fights on DAZN, obviously including this one, May 9th. What about this one, though, coming up? Who is the new king of Mexico? Is it going to be Sugar Nunes, or is it going to be Emmanuel Navarrete?
In Mexico, boxing is not a sport. It's a religion. Two champions now stand before the altar. One nation behind them, each bearing a crown earned in silence. But history allows only one throne. Who will be the next king of Mexico?
Yeah, loads of big fights coming up. Dickens versus Kakache, that one Saturday, March 14th. Then the Magnificent Seven rescheduled. Italma versus Franklin, that's the end of March, March 28th. And then some big boys. Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder, Saturday, April 4th. And the one we're here for now, can't wait for this one, 50-50 scrap. Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois, that one Saturday, May 9th in Manchester. And by the magic of TV, 3 have become 4 in the studio because the champion is here. Where's the belt? Where's the belt?
It was here.
Can we have the belt, Mike? Let's have a look. There you go. Let's bring over some gold. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. And you've got that collection behind you. I've done a few Zoom interviews with you where you've got that collection. Is this now in the collection? Have you put it in
It
yet?
will be, yeah. It had a spot saved, so yeah, it's got a space. It's got a space where I'll be putting it.
When you do a press conference like this, when you are still a few weeks out from the actual, the showcase of you guys throwing hands, is it a bit weird to do a press conference so far out from the fight? I mean, can you get up for it yet?
Yeah, look, it's part of it now for me. Like, I've done it enough times, or the pre-press, then before the fight we press, this media, that media, the face-off, the sit-down. There's a lot of the back and forth, so it's nothing new. And that was pretty good. Some good fun and games on there as well. We had some good characters on the table.
Fab, a lot of confident members of both teams there. I'm just intrigued. Since the fight was announced, right, you've obviously dreamt about this fight. In your mind, how does it play out? How does this fight play out for you?
Look, I think however it goes, one way or another, I wholeheartedly believe I make him capitulate, I make him give up, I make him take a knee, I make him they throw the towel in, or he just doesn't want it anymore. Like, one way or another, I can guarantee I will put enough pressure on him and make it as uncomfortable as possible for him, to bring that out of him. And that's not to say that he hasn't proven grit in other fights and stuff, but with him, to know that's in there, you've seen it in the Joyce fight, you've seen it in the Usyk's fight. When things get uncomfortable, when they don't go his way, he runs out of ideas. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go with it all. And that's the objective for me, is to run him out, and I'll sit there and hear a no mas.
How do you get that? I mean, you tend to think you just go out there and start firing early, which is what you do so well, and it works for you. But you know he's going to be at his dangerous early when his technique is at his best. So do you try a different tactic trying to tire him out, or do you just be?
Nah, it has nothing to do with even tiring him out. It's make him pay. Make him pay for stuff. He throws a good jab, he throws a good right hand, throws a good hook, whatever it is. All he needs to know is, if I let that off, I've got some coming back my way, and I'm going to feel them, and they're going to hurt.
How is confidence these days? You know, elevated to world champion off the back of your best win, beating Joseph Parker. You must be buzzing. You must be flying in the gym at a minute.
Yeah, look, I'm riding the wave. I'm enjoying it.
How big's this wave? Jeez.
Honestly, I'm like, this is the wave, and then something else happens. Let me do Portman Road or the Parker, and then a world title and everything else. Like, but I am just sitting here riding the crest of the wave on top and just going, look, let's keep pushing this. Let's see how far we can go with it all then. Biggest challenges, biggest fights, biggest events. Let's keep going then, because from everyone else's perspective, I'm already on borrowed time. So let's roll the dice every time then and see how it goes.
No, I think you've proved your point now.
Yeah,
I think you've gone beyond that now.
I would definitely hope so.
Do you feel like, we watch your style all the time, every time you're fighting, we love it. I always think you're, there's you and there's David Benavidez, who I think are just value for money. Like, you are getting what you pay for when you go to a Fabio Wardley fight. Is there a part of you that doesn't want your team to almost refine what you've got? Because I almost feel like you're so dangerous, but that's almost because there is no amateur background and fighters are trying to figure you out and they can't. Does that make any sense a bit?
No, it makes a lot of sense, and I'll be honest, it's a huge credit to my training team as well. To Robert Hodgins, who I started with, who allowed me to be me. He never said to me, oh, you need to box like this, you need to do it like this. Don't get me wrong, there's tweaks and adjustments and things we need to do, and then obviously we leveled up as well, and we went to Ben, and Ben did the same thing. He said, look, you're great in these areas, keep these things. Just add this on top, do a little bit of this, take a bit of that away, but don't change who you are, because who you are and what you're doing is working. So let's just tighten things up here and there. So I have to give credit to my trainers to say that they let me be me. They understand me as a fighter, know who I am, and let me use myself to the best abilities.
The powers that be are probably going to get upset with my next question, because look, we are here to promote you versus Daniel Dubois. Do you dream about Oleksandr Usyk, that fight? Does that creep into your mind, that someone that you were watching when he was cruiserweight king and coming up and dominating the heavyweights, and that felt like a million miles away? Now it's almost a couple of inches away, right? Do you dream of that?
Yeah, look, I did dream about it until a couple of weeks ago, until we signed the fight, and then Daniel Dubois popped up in my dreams instead, and I started focusing on that. Look, it's too big of a fight. He's too big of a character, too big of an opponent to ignore. It's not like I can run around and just say, oh, no, I'm not thinking about him at all, because I am. But ultimately, it's irrelevant unless I get through Daniel. So that's the wholehearted focus right now. Don't get me wrong, Oleksandr Usyk is in the back of my mind, and how the scene may play out is there, but ultimately I've got a job to do.
Certainly do. Fantastic. May 9th. Well done. I'm going to give you a handshake. Say, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I just want a little spot. Come on, like someone with a little, just a little, come on, mate, we're all right, aren't we?
We are.
You gave me a spud at the face-off, so why? It's only been 10 minutes, what's the issue?
It's changed. Things have changed. You got the suit. I think the suit done it for him. I was in Las Vegas, as you guys know, for Mario Barrios' world title shot against Ryan Garcia. Mario Barrios coming up short in that fight, but this is something you didn't see. This was behind the scenes. This is Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia Raw. Do we get that aggressive Ryan Garcia tonight, like we got in the Devin Haney fight? That's what we want to see.
Get that belt, bro. It's yours. Mario Barrios, you know, quiet, subdued, disciplines, fundamentally sound. I think he's disrespected. He's a lot better than given credit for.
Let's get this party started.
You got that winner's blower. I see it.
Mario Barrios, he's not flashy despite this entrance.
And that's what Ryan Garcia's going to need, that right hand.
And down it goes! Just like that!
A shot. Close your eyes and hit him right.
You got 3 rounds to knock him out. You gotta go for it right now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The WBC welterweight champion of the world.
In the news!
Some might say, finally, Ryan Garcia, no WBC welterweight champion. You can catch the full version of that by heading over to DAZN.com and stepping inside the locker room as well. Your #1 destination for raw, unfiltered content, exclusive access, behind-the-scenes moments, the real stories, that only on DAZN. All right, there have been, I think it's fair to say, so many good Hollywood stories. We're saying this just because there's been so many fantastic stories associated with Fabio Wardley, which is a Hollywood story in itself, right? I mean, where he's come from, Hollywood story, Rocky story, something very similar.
I mean, 100%. There is a film going to come out where he's come from, where he was, to what he's doing. You know, I didn't get the chance to ask him there as well. You know, have your goals shifted and have they changed? You know, it would have been to maybe win a British title, an area title. Now all of a sudden, you know, you're knocking these fellas over, and now you're a world champion. What now is it to reign supreme in the division? But that's an incredible narrative. There's been so many stories. Something about boxing, something about where the fighters come from, working class.
But it's an invisible track. It's not a path you can see. You have to form it and create it yourself, and that's what makes it so magic. Because you come from most boxers come from poverty-stricken areas where you don't see any success in your life. You don't see it, so you have to forge it and make it yourself. And then when you do, you know, sometimes you get to the top and go, I've done it. And people like Fabio who had no aspirations. I mean, if he boxed for the British title, you would have gone, well, fair dues to him. He did well. Yeah. He's not only fought, but he won it, and he went on and went on. He just goes, like he keeps saying, I'll just keep rolling the dice. And I think he's got that mindset, which makes it dangerous. Because then, in his mind, he's still got nothing to lose, which he has now, because he's a world-class fighter. I mean, that's the fear.
That's interesting, isn't it? See, that's very interesting. Before, you're right. What you said was correct as well, that I guess the dream might have been a British title. And when he went in there, it was almost a case of, look, if I win, I win. Now he's a world champion and unbeaten, and I teased him about the Oleksandr Usyk fight. Now there's a bit more pressure. You're no longer going in as this. You're not a white-collar boxer anymore. We're not going to use that one.
You're not a secret anymore either, by the way. Everyone knows about you now. It's all like, well, you're going to experience, so under pressure I'll box him and he'll run out of ideas. That don't happen.
We love a good story in boxing, don't we? When you think of Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson, I mean, those are things that we remember for forever, right? Yeah. The Gatti Ward sort of fights, and even to an extent the fight you guys were at the weekend, Bilal Fawaz, and his story. I mean, this guy, remarkable, isn't it?
It really is.
Like English, now British and Commonwealth champion.
Yeah, unreal. It really is, you know, and that's what makes this sport so incredible. The favourite doesn't always win. You know, the underdog has a story, comes from nothing, as Barry says a lot of the time, and they change their lives. It's the manner in which they do it. But Bilal Fawaz, you know, we were sat there, weren't we, thinking this is going to be a whitewash.
At the end of the fight, we said, hopefully he can get a British passport now. He's got a British title, get a British passport. But the thing about boxing is, skill's not always the dominant factor. Like in a lot of sports, if you're the most talented, you're the best. Boxing and a lot of contact sports can be overwhelmed with fitness, a dedication, application, strength, power. All these things can play the part. And quite often, just biting down your gum shield and having a go. And Fabio Wardley's the poster boy for that.
Yeah, all of a sudden, if Fabio Wardley does get through Daniel Dubois May 9th, I mean, you almost have to give him the Usyk shot. There are no many there can't be that many hurdles in front of him. I mean, some might say Cavial, but surely you roll at the red carpet to Oleksandr Usyk, which sounds crazy.
Sounds
crazy.
But credit to Usyk, he's adamant on owning all 4 belts, which I like. Do you know what I mean? He wants.
Well, he gave this one away.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, he does want to be the keeper of them all, doesn't he? You know, certain reasons for giving them up, but ultimately, he does want to be the undisputed world champion. So that would have to happen.
Yeah.
It would have to happen. You know, there are hurdles and obstacles when you own so many belts because of the mandatories, etc. But I love that. And going back to the sport as well, the underdog. The underdog story is always a great one. You know, us in the UK, Leicester City winning the Premier League. Who would have thought it? You know, those stories, it just captivates the nation, the world.
I guess the only difference now is that Fabio Wardley, as Barry said, is no longer an unknown and certainly not an underdog. Remember this one, May 9th in Manchester. Buy your tickets now, or you can buy the pay-per-view. Just go to DAZN.com/boxing. You don't want to miss this one. 2 heavyweights, former champion versus current champion. Who is numero uno on these shores? We'll find out May 9th.